All right. Count them three ways you can use AI for better speaking, and a bonus secret that's not AI. But that bonus secret you need to use with AI, and it's the critical factor that makes it legit.
With AI, Darren.
Oh, man.
I know it's early. It's my first bad ah, ah,
All right. It's going to be one of those kind of webinars.
it's gonna be
Nice.
one of those days.
Nice. I just saw a few more comments come in. Prove my applications on Speaker Match. Oh, cool, Tom. Nice. AI for speaking and coaching.
Thank you.
Cool, Rick. All right. So we're going to do this a little differently than any other webinar we've ever done. We're going to make it all about you. Here's a couple things. You just ran out of excuses if marketing and copywriting is not your thing. You just ran out. Stop. Okay, so next 59 minutes, we're going to give you 3 ways to use AI that we think could be super helpful. And I love this by Ford. When he said this at Game Changers, it really got me to understand it better. He said, treat AI or Chat GPT as an intern to go and get you things, to gather things, to surmise things. And what we're learning is the prompt is the important part, the way you prompt it. One more thing from Ford that we love. He says, speakers won't be replaced by AI. AI will replace speakers who don't use AI.
Ooh.
That's a thinker. That's a thinker. Okay, so most of you here, you know Mark, you know me. We're going to skip the backstories and get right to why you're here. If you don't know us, Mark and I both won the World Championship of Public Speaking. We have a podcast called Deliver Unforgettable Presentations. Check it out on all the platforms. We love what we do, and we'd love you to be a sponge and recommend it to your friends. And we've been coaching together. We do events together. We've got one coming up next month called Own the Stage. But this is about you, and this is about how you can use AI for better speaking. All right. So number one way is foundational phrases, using it to help you create foundational phrases. And we got to give credit to Linda Marie Miller, because she's the one who first started experimenting with that. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Before we show you that, before we dive into that, this is about speaking, the speaking side, but I have to give you a heads up. Mark and I are not super savvy on this. We're new to this, but we're not new to speaking. So we know the tools, we know what you need to accomplish, but this is a new tool. So we don't want you to think we're coming on as the ultimate experts. We're experts in coaching, but the tool, we're still kind of figuring out as we go. Mark, your thoughts?
That's true. When Darren first said, let's do this webinar, I said, Darren, I am not an authority and technically skilled, but I will admit, I've been using Chat GPT as well. So we'll share some ideas how we use it and how you can use it as well to enhance your presentations, as well as other aspects of speaking that surround your presentation that you might not have thought of, or we believe are helpful to you as well. So here we go.
Yeah, and just to give you an example, I've also used it. We're going to talk about speaking, but I'm in the process of using it right now in terms of marketing, in terms of creating my one sheet. So let's see, I have one of the things I'm working on is business to business. And so I had Chat GPT help me figure out the biggest mistakes in corporate presentations. So it helped me see this in order to create my one sheet. And I love what it came up with. And I was like, that would have taken me hours to write. And it took ChatGPT about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm also creating a one sheet now. I'm creating a new keynote called All In. So it's helping me put it together and create the takeaways. So I'm just saying, I'm in the midst of using it, and that's what gave me the idea. And then, so for example, well, we'll get to the next one in a second, but let's go to Chat GPT. Now I'm using the live version here. Excuse me, the free version here. So, Mark, if you can maybe put chat.openai.
Yeah, the link and I'll put it in. No
Yeah.
problem. I can do that.
And again, I'm just
Well,
using the basic free version, the free version. So you can pay $20 a month. A lot of my friends, Ford, Maureen, a lot of my friends use the $20 a month version. I was going to upgrade, but I was like, let me show them what you can do with the free version and at least get them started. So when I was playing around, I was actually playing around with speech titles. Please give me 3 powerful titles for a keynote speech on customer service. And this is what it came up with: transforming customer service excellent, unleashing the power of exceptional experiences, customer service revolution, igniting the culture of unforgettable engagement, the art of wow. So I thought, man, that was pretty good. And then I was playing around. I said, okay, give me 5 titles of a keynote speech on how to create powerful presentations. I love some of these. These are really good. Like From Boring to Brilliant, unleash the power of engaging presentations. So you can read what's there. And then here's another thing. One of the keys to AI is how you prompt it, the questions you ask. And it might not be the first question. So I said, okay, make them funny. From Z to LOL. I love that. Present like a stand-up comedian. Presentation Avengers. Boom, boom, boom. So I thought that was interesting. But I wanted to start off by asking you about foundational phrases. So do any of you have a phrase or a point that you would like to get across that we could play around with? So we're looking at that sticky point. So 10 words or fewer, but what's the cliche idea, or maybe it's a cliche and we're going to upgrade it, like don't give up. For my ouch speech, don't give up. Like, meanwhile, put in, if you have a point that you'd like us to play with, stories are your glory. All right, we'll start with that. Well, now that I'm super curious. So now, Mark, you might even have to help guide me here. I want to regenerate a response. I want a new chat. Boom.
yeah.
So the first one is help create a sticky phrase, 10 words or fewer, not the world champion of typing.
For what purpose?
Has rhythm, oh, Mark, I don't even know how to spell rhythm.
RHYTHM, man, go for it.
RHYTH.
There's no E there. Yeah, just leave the E out. Aha.
Or rhyme.
Now, what he's doing here, he's going deep into being specific about exactly what he wants ChatGPT to do. You could ask for a phrase, but he wants 10 words or fewer. He wants rhythm or rhyme, and he wants to include the phrase "stories are your glory." Is that the idea, Darren?
Yeah, I'm going to do the other one first, and then I'll do.
What phrase is that? To replace what? What are you going to replace it with? What are you doing? With a cliche? Okay. Nice cliche. Don't give up. Okay.
All right, let's see what's
good. What did it give you? All right. So you want 10 choices, and there you go. Keep pushing, don't quit. Your dreams are high. Rise above, don't give up, reach for the sky. Nice. Don't surrender, keep going. Success is within sight. Stay strong, never waver, overcome with all your might. What's interesting is you have, as far as the rhythm there, you can feel the rhythm of those phrases. You said rhythm or rhyme. If you said just rhyme only, if you ask for just rhyme only, it'd be interesting to see what it gives you if you say just rhyme. So I'm gonna do that myself right now. I'm gonna say 10 sticky phrases, 10 sticky phrases with rhyme only. with rhyme to replace it and see what I get with this. Okay. Stay strong, persist long, success will come along. Ooh. Right? Rise above, don't give up. Okay, so again, let's see. Do them all in rhyme. Okay. Press on, don't give up. Let your spirit take the lead in pursuit of greatness. So what it did there, Darren, you said give them all in rhyme. It gave you the first one and gave you a second one that rhymes. So you're going to have 20 words. Again, as specific as you make it, ChatGPT will respond to that.
So in the pursuit of greatness, sow the seeds you need. Keep fighting. Increase the challenge.
Now, I must confess, there is a concern here. Forgive my glasses. I don't read that well with Darren's small print on the screen. One could very easily get lost going down the rabbit hole doing this. Trust me, you can. So be as specific as you need to be to get the results you want. This works really well trying to find a foundational phrase, a sticky phrase, or a phrase that will serve as a thread running through your presentation. You can ask for it to be a 6-word phrase if you wish. But we invite you to invest some time and really, as let me say in America, kick the tires, test things out, test options out, and see what works for you. And after a while, the ones you choose, you begin to get a feel for what works well for you. And Randy, of course, has given us his results already. He promised us, give me 5 rhyming phrases about enjoying exercise to age well. The response, move with joy, stay forever buoyed. Interesting. Joy and buoy don't quite rhyme, but that's all right. Sweat and smile. Your body's versatile. Feel the burn. Watch your vitality return. Excellence. Look at that. Exercise your might. Age like dynamite. Embrace the flow. Watch your age gracefully grow. Again, we could do this for an hour, and that's one of the risks that you run. But the more specific we can be, the more focused our results will be. And after a while, you almost kind of know what to ask it. It's very, very interesting. And by the way, Darren, I use this to ask about different ways to share a one-line response to what do you do for a living? It's always wise. This is not an elevator pitch. It's a one-word answer that's interesting that'll have the audience ask, oh, really? So how do you do that? And that's part one of the keys to making sure you're effective as a presenter when you're prospecting, to get them to ask you the right questions. So there are many ways, there are myriad ways you can use ChatGPT. Back to you, Darren.
All right. So Tom, I put those in there. Give me 5 rhymes. Ooh, watch. Yeah, I do like feel the burn. Watch your vitality return.
Yeah, that was Randy's. Yes.
Remember to check your premise on specific stuff as applicable. Ever heard of GJO as a real thing? No, I have not. Honesty is the best policy. Now, keep in mind, we're just helping out. We're putting things in, but you can be doing this and set up your own account in the background. Play along. Highly recommend it. The more you play with it, it's like stage time, stage time, stage time. GPT time, GPT time, GPT time. The more you do it, the more you'll start to get your own rhythm. You can also ask it to, how would Craig Valentine say?
Now, that may sound funny. And by the way, Darren, the GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, it's a very old computer term. I used to hear that back when I was a computer programmer back in Reader's Digest and back in the banking industry. In 1980 was my first computer job. 81 was my first computer programming job. And you were told garbage in, garbage out. You know, we had the LIFO and the FIFO. First in, first out, last in, first out. But listen, garbage in, garbage out. And have some fun. Give ChatGPT some garbage and see what comes out. It's all part of the experimentation process. Did it give you a quick Valentine answer, Darren?
It didn't give me one.
If it knows somebody, like maybe, who knows? You know, Patty Fripp, I don't know. Maybe Miss Fripp, I don't know. Right? But it tells you who Quick Valentine is, right? Look at the answer. I read it for so we can all hear.
And I have to, again, we're still new at this. We're just showing you, here's a place you could use it. Because remember, this is when you have a great foundational phrase, it is a sticking tool to help your message stick, which is also marketing for you. So you're helping your message land as well as literally marketing yourself. Because now when you're sticky, like in our book, we talk about being remembered and repeated, those foundational phrases, you could even have one for your different points of wisdom, but now you have this writer that works for you. You get better at it. The more you use it, you'll learn how to use the prompts, but this is one place, which is foundational phrases. And I think this is a critical area that is, I don't want to focus on Toastmasters, but I see so many Toastmasters competitions this year. And out of every competitor I've seen, let's say each place I've gone, there's been 10 competitors or 9 competitors. I've maybe seen one, and it's an average foundational phrase. So this isn't going to necessarily give you the answer, but it's going to get you to version 8.0 in seconds. Now you got to see what resonates with you. The foundational phrase that you love, you're going to deliver it from a deeper place. And you might take one of their ideas and tweak it. Exactly. It's not hiring a pro, it's hiring an intern to do some work for you. Mark, your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I'm a little concerned, though, Darren, that some may consider it the be all and the end all source. I would strongly encourage everyone to remember, it's your presentation. You are the president of your presentation. You want your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions, your expertise, your experience. Whereas many of us would go to Word Hippo to find the right word or phrase to put in a speech. In a similar way, we can use ChatGPT to find what we believe is most appropriate for us. And I encourage you, you may find some colorful phrases, but never ever lose your own identity. Find what serves you best and apply it. Don't simply plop it in there, but how do we say, adopt and adapt and use it well to enhance who you are, what you bring to the table, and never ever lose sight of who you are in that regard.
Mark, I forgot to send the Tom ones. Tom, this is the one that you asked for. I forgot to send it to all. I guess the default is to send to panelists. My bad.
Yes, that does happen. Hosts and panelists.
Rookie mistake. So if you haven't seen Word Hippo, this is another tool that we teach and we use where if you're trying to rhyme a thing, let's just say give up, like you want to rhyme with give up. So we can put in up, you can hit on rhymes, and it gives you this. So it helps you, again, it's a tool for creativity to help you get down that road more quickly and get closer to the gold. Now, here's what I'd also say. You got to make sure you're not stealing someone else's, because ChatGPT and what it goes and searches, you got to make sure this isn't somebody else's foundational phrase. So let's just say, bring stories bring laughter. Your glory is in giggles and grins, which I think that's cool. But what I would do is you've got to check it and see, when you in Google, if you put parentheses around it, it's going to look and search for anything. So there are 0 results. So chances are that this is an original one that it created. But we got to take the time to make sure you can't take whatever ChatGPT gives you and then just go with that. You've got to adapt it to your style, your way. Is this helpful for everyone? Curious.
I love seeing the activity on the screen here in the chat. I really like that.
All right. So, thank you, Tom. Foundational phrases, key to making your message stick, key to marketing yourself, key to having the people, like you're giving it a handle so they can take it with them. So you still need your stories. You still need, but this helps Make your message stick. Thank you, May. Cool. All right. So that's number one, foundational phrases. Number two, your speech titles and points of wisdom. If you follow us, you know we talk about this Fripp speech model. It's in our book. But what about for speech titles? Titles is key because we want to get booked. Guess what event planners want? Butts and seats, attendees. So they're looking for that catchy title on your website, in your video that says, ooh, what's that? Ooh, I want to know more. Ooh, here's the best one. Ooh, that's what my people need. That's what my people need. So we want to find that title that differentiates you from everybody else in your industry. I think I already showed it, but my first round, biggest mistake. Yeah, I think I already showed the one that I came up with for my all in. Mark, your thoughts real quick while I find what I was looking for.
I guess my initial thought here, based on what we just said, is first of all, again, I did say thank you for all the input you're putting in. The potential for this to help you really expands beyond just a catchy phrase and speech titles. What I would suggest that you do is also ask for the number of words you want in a speech title, because what ChatGPT will probably do is give you a title with subtitles in one phrase. Again, experiment with that. What is your speech really going to be about? And ask it for it to be catchy. Ask for a rhyme. Ask for it to be edgy if you want. Be willing to use these adjectives and have ChatGPT come up with edgy titles, funny titles, poignant titles, provocative titles, if you want to use that particular word. But use the adjectives in your query to get the unorthodox or non-standard response. I hope that makes sense to everybody here. The potential here is really good. Having a really smart genius on your shoulder to pop a word in for you, use it that way, and bing, you might find exactly what you need in that regard. I hope that's helpful as well.
Yeah. And to be clear, Nancy, I'm just recommending, I'm not saying it steals, it may borrow, but I'm saying you as the speaker, you as the expert in your industry, you need to double check.
Yes.
Make sure there isn't someone else out there using it. That's why I put the quotes around it to see if there's anything who's used it. Because if there's a speaker that does and they're already famous, now it's going to look like stealing. We can't just take it for granted. So I can't even pretend to figure out the AI process. It's a tool. It's a tool. So as I had said with the all-in titles, so the title of my keynote of my new keynote's all in. So these are some of the options it came up with to give me to choose from. Again, we can still then take it and adapt it. So does anybody here have a title or let's just say a title that you like, but maybe you don't love from one of your keynotes? Want to work on one of your titles, or if you're thinking about a new keynote you haven't done, the title Unstoppable. Okay, so let's play around with these. Thank you. So new chat.
And you can actually just change your entry on the same page you wanted, Darren. You can just, you can keep going on the same page. At the bottom it says send message. You just send a new query. It'll do that for you as well.
Like we said, we're still figuring this out.
That's good.
Please give me 10 titles.
Darren is so nice.
I know.
You can just say 10 titles. Someone said earlier, Darren, they're tickled you said please to ChatGPT. You are such a nice gentleman. Isn't he wonderful, friends? He's so nice. I just put 10 titles for, in 3 words or fewer, do this. And ChatGPT obliges. How cool is that? Right? What would you do if I died? That's a very interesting question. I'm curious, Walt, Are you willing to try that yourself and see what comes up? And ask questions that you want to see what kind of result you get. Interesting. Are we getting 10 titles for being unstoppable, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. And how many words do you want it to be? Who was that? Who's that? For Tina. How many words do you want title to be? And by the way, I appreciate the word unstoppable. Part of the research should be to find out not only what other presenters may have used that title, because I'll confess, I saw Unstoppable. My brain went to a movie with Denzel Washington about a train that was a runaway train, Unstoppable. But there's so many options available. Now, Darren, what did you ask it for?
I asked it for give me 10 alternative titles for a keynote speech title and subtitle plus 3 points for Unstoppable.
You'll see Darren's screen got pretty full right there. And you have an option to make it one search or to do each piece individually if you might feel overwhelmed by seeing 85 lines of text in front of you as a result, right? And Karen says, by the way, I think Tony Robbins used that title too. So, again, Tina, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying be aware of who else might have it. Someone said that Karen says Tony Robbins used that title as well. Just be aware, but particularly if it's a catchy title that may be close to what currently exists. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be aware. That's all. Is there a certain number of words you should have for a title? Very often we'll see, Tina, in keynote speaking, you'll see a 2 or 3 word title and a colon or a dash and a subtitle, like in a book. That often happens. And in a program description for a speech, in a brochure or a conference program, you will see a title and a subtitle as well. That depends on what you want to deliver, how much curiosity you want to generate, and how much info you want to give in advance to generate that level of curiosity and draw people to your session. So there's no yes or no answer for that. But I've used 2 word titles. I've used 3 word titles. Be your best, right? I have one called 7 Secrets Every Leader Must Know. 7 Secrets Every Leader Must Know. That's 6 words. Depending on what I think can get the audience together with me more quickly, I'll use as few words as possible and as few syllables as possible. My one talk is called Be Your Best. 3 words, all monosyllabic. Easy to remember, easy to understand. I hope that helps, Tina, okay? Let me know. Thanks.
Mark,
Darren, back to you.
Another one to try?
Come again, Darren?
Was there another one besides Unstoppable? What would you do if I died?
Yes, that was a pretty strong Walt. I think it was Walt who put that one in there. And you'll see how we have just talked about titles already, and we're half an hour gone on one topic. one idea.
We're on a second topic. First one was phrases.
But now we got titles. We're saying, yes, let's keep going.
Yep. Give me 10 speech titles for
Okay.
a keynote speech on the. Mark would only be at 20 minutes if I could type faster.
Okay.
Oops.
Excellence elevated. Interesting. Look at that. That's really interesting. Achieving. All right.
To gratitude. I keep typing in chat when I'm trying to do GPT, and I'm keep typing in GPT.
At least you are doing what is best, right? There you go. Let's see what we have. Okay. I've got 10 with subtitles. I cannot paste them here. I'm sorry about that. Well, we wanted to see what you came up with. That sounds wonderful. I would have loved to have seen that. So let's see what we've got. All right.
All right, Walt, I'm pasting him in there. Dying shadows when death knocks.
Interesting.
Exit strategy 101 when I kick the bucket.
Now you could ask for humor. You could ask for different emotion in the search as well, which I found to be very, very interesting. Again, I mentioned earlier the adjectives you choose or you use can make a difference with this as well.
So I did make them funny, make them embarrassing. Make them inspiring. Eternal echoes, inspiring the word. Ooh, Mark, I love that one. Eternal echoes, inspiring the world even in absence.
Okay.
All right, maybe just me, but I thought it was good. Nice.
Inspiring and flowery, Rokita said. Inspiring and flowery. Okay. You must now decide how many words do you want this to be. And think as if you are someone who's going to be in the audience. Would that appeal to me if I were in the audience? Would that be a draw for me? Would that make me curious enough to want to hear this presentation? And might there be something in that talk for me based on the title that you give?
Yeah, and also, would the meeting planner, would it resonate with the meeting planner for their audience?
So think like you're going to be the one hiring the speaker. Reverse the role and see what kind of result you get. And it's easy, I'll confess, it's easy being the speaker to want to deliver the message you want with a title that appeals to you. But think about your audience and how broad will your audience be? I don't know. Will it be corporate? Will it be a specific gender? Will it be a specific demographic? All of these come into play because the truth is there may be presenters who have changed their title of their speech depending upon the audience, but it's the same presentation. Ask me how I know, okay? Just being honest here. And there you go, Darren. His magic number is 10. Darren's magic number is 10. Give me 10 of this, 10 of that.
I want options.
Excellent. Excellent. Getting the hang of, my friend? Getting the hang of it.
Embrace departure, fuel for growth. All right. I think we got it here. Now let's get number 3. This idea came from Ford. Way 3 is create analogies and metaphors to get your idea across. What is it? Now think of either your big picture or one of your points of wisdom. Like I'm trying to get people to fall forward, embrace excellence.
Darren,
what's one of yours on being the best?
Real quick, Darren, a question came in. If 2 people ask identical question, do they each receive the identical answer? How can we find out? Let's do this. Keep it simple, Darren. What is one question you could ask word for word? I will type in as well. What is that? What do you have there, Darren? An analogy or metaphor?
Do a quick test before we do this, but
For a title?
Yeah. Well, keep in mind though, it's going to learn me that it should be different because of the different questions that I asked.
Well, let's just do this right now. Let's ask
Okay.
for a 3-word title about going all in. A 3-word rhythmic, speech title about going all in. A 3-word rhythmic speech title about going all in. Does that make sense?
A 3-word
Rhythmic, RHYTHMIC, rhythmic speech title, RHY, about going all in. Ask for one, only one entry. What do you have? Embrace, engage, excel. I have total commitment, dive deep. Interesting. About going all. Now, did you put any quotes in there?
Nope.
Okay. And you said give me a 3-word speech title?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a 3-word rhythmic speech title about going all in. Okay. I'm going to type that in here and see what I get. Full force forward. You have embrace, engage, excel. Interesting. Now, Darren, please regenerate your response for that same question. Click below and ask it to do it. I'll give you a second answer. What do you get? Right there, right there. No, click on that line. It says above it, right above it. Click on it. It says regenerate response. Thank you. What did you get? Help me out.
Leap, embrace, triumph.
Okay, let's see what I got.
Unleash, triumph, conquer.
Okay, total commitment, dive deep, full throttle, embrace. Wow. So it's different. We got 2 completely different answers both times. So right. We'll have to move on, but I like what Troy's asking. We'll try it again some other time. But he wants from dead scratch, brand new chat, same sentence. What would you get? So there you go.
All right. So think about it. When you're trying to get your point across, one of the tools is analogies or metaphor about following a path. Ford did this, and he came up with a great one, but it took him like 3 or 4 prompts.
Now, what did you ask it for there, Darren?
I asked it for an analogy or a metaphor about getting lost.
Give me
a short form metaphor about following a path.
Ah, okay. About following a path. And it gave you how many words? 800?
Well, then I said, say it in 100 words.
What was the first line there, Darren? And of the first answer, what did it say? What was the first line of the answer?
Once upon a time.
Well, yeah. What did it say? The first line.
Once upon a time, in a land embraced by endless emerald forest, there was a curious traveler named Amelia.
Okay. Mine says, once upon a time, in a land veiled by an enchanted forest, there lived a young adventurer named Lily. There are similarities there, obviously, right? Interesting. That's why I say play with it. See what's available to you, okay? Now, just it sounds like one use would be to produce a phrase to make you think. Oh, yes, definitely, definitely. Right? Yes, Marianne, it is fascinating. And Lady May went back to a phrase she got, I got, dive deep and commit. Now, analogies, in this particular case, it'll give you pretty much a story because in its mind, it is a story to match the idea. And as Darren says, well, make it 100 words or fewer. You can decide how much you want. The temptation would be take the whole story and insert that into your presentation. That truly would be it. Do you want to do that? I leave that to you and your decision as to how much of what this intern gives you would want to use for yourself, or what would you tweak or change so it would sound more like you.
Wonder how it does analogies different from metaphors.
And you'll find that again by doing that.
All right, I'm not going to put these in the chat, but I think you get the point. And then obviously you'd want to clean it up, make it yours, but find one that, you know, if you don't like it, make it funny.
And by the way, I did ask it to give me a short story form metaphor about following a path in the style of Mark L. Brown, speaker. And it said this: well, gather on, my friends, and lend me your ears. I shall spin you a yarn about the wonders of following a path. Picture this: a dusty old trail cutting through the vast expanse of a sun-kissed desert, where the heat dances on the horizon like a mirage. Does that sound like me? That's interesting, right? Does ChatGPT know who you are? Do they know your style? I'm totally to find out and be able to do more and more with your style. So there you go, Darren. All right. We've got sticky phrases. We've got metaphors, analogies, stories, speech titles. And there's so much more ChatGPT and its family members can do for you.
I did it in the style of Ford sakes.
Picture this in a bustling metropolis. Where's Clark
no
Kent?
F-bombs.
Where's no Clark Kent?
Laugh-inducing legends of Successville. Man.
But notice now, Darren, look at the last paragraph. You'll appreciate that. In the style of Ford sakes, remember that laughter is not just good medicine for the soul, but a potent elixir for business growth, transforming challenges into opportunities and creating an atmosphere of camaraderie and connection. So, my entrepreneurial friends, unleash your inner Wally. Let the laughter lead you to the path to extraordinary success. I could not help but notice the phrase business growth and opportunities and entrepreneurship from that description, because he mentioned Ford sakes business growth expert. And I wonder if you had not used the phrase business growth expert, would it know who Ford is? Yeah. I don't know. So you're going to copy and paste that too?
No, I'm sending it to Ford.
And Randy says, when I asked it to change my list of similes into metaphors, it complied much, much faster than I could. May ask, do you just cut and paste for document to edit? Yeah, you can do that. Or in a Word document or a Google Doc and edit there, unless you really want to just cut and paste and leave it. And again, that's up to you. And there's a comment here also about writer's block, Darren. I want to really just talk about briefly. Marion Gamling says, it's great if suffering from writer's block and need a different look to consider. And all of us at some point in time hit that wall. What do I want to say here? And thankfully, when it happened to me, I've had ways of inspiration, but sometimes a little nudge or a whisper from your intern can really help you get past that spot. Again, think of it as a tool to help you, not to replace your thoughts, your words, or your emotions. Darren?
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. All right. So that was way number 3. I want to ask again, is this helpful? And we know that you can do exactly what we're doing, but it wouldn't, until Linda Marie said it, it wouldn't have dawned on me, create foundational phrases. Then that made me think, what else? How else could a speaker use it? You could also take your stories and pop it into GPT and say, make it funnier. Think about that. You now have a comedy writer at your fingertips. So taking your own copy and paste of your own story, and if you don't have it written out, well, you could probably find a service to transcribe one of your speeches and then pop it in and say, make it funnier. Which chat GPT application? There are so many to choose from. Yes, there are. We're just using the one that we learned about from Ford, and there's no perfect one. I mean, this one is best. This is just the one that I was introduced to that Ford uses. So there are many to choose from. We're also learning too that you could even have pictures made of yours. You upload, Linda Marie also uploaded like 20 pictures, and then for $20 she got like 100 headshots, and some of them are really, really good. Yeah, that's true, Randy. It usually will transcribe it.
And please bear in mind, real quickly, AI, you can use AI, as Darren says, for photographs, you can use AI for images as well. You can ask AI to generate images for you. If you, for example, put in a newsletter or an article you want to post, and you want a cover photograph or a main photograph, a headline photograph, and you don't want to go to, Darren, what are those free websites again to get pictures? Pixabay.com
Unsplash
or Unsplash. You can ask ChatGPT to generate for you exactly what you want. I've done that before.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to share the marbles?
Well, I'll tell you what. My newsletter on LinkedIn, I just put an article out on Wednesday of last week, and I talked about relying on the replay. My idea is, let's record ourselves, watch the video, make notes, and you know how we feel about that. Watch it quietly with no sound on, etc. And I posted an article about that, and on LinkedIn, the article. Hang on, let me share the screen here quickly. And the article says rely on the replay. And I asked my Microsoft Microsoft designer to generate. He's a designer. I asked it to generate for me an image of someone watching a video of themselves, an executive, and taking notes while they watch the video. It gave me that image, and I put that image on my LinkedIn newsletter last Wednesday. Again, just asked it to do it. I've asked it to do several different projects just for the fun of it, and I was pretty impressed by how well my Microsoft designer, and it's free to me because I'm a Microsoft client, and I asked it to, I said, give me an image. And by the way, it gave me several options. When I asked for the first one, it always gives me 3 options whenever I ask it to show me any particular image. And very early on, I was experimenting with this particular feature, and I asked it to, among other things, to give me a picture of a dog shaking itself, after being wet. I asked for a picture of, runners at a race. I asked for a picture of 3 kids playing marbles in the 1930s in an alley, and make it a colorized photograph. And it gave me some startling results. I asked it to give me a picture of people by the beach having a party. I asked for a picture of a hawk scaring songbirds at a water fountain. You simply ask it to give you what you want it to give you. And I'm going to show you very quickly the result of the picture of the hawk scaring songbirds at the fountain. Quickly, here is share screen. Come on, Mark. Share screen. Boom, boom. And this is what my Microsoft designer generated. A picture of a hawk scaring songbirds by a water fountain. I use Microsoft.designer.com is the site. I'll put it in the chat real quickly. But that's one tool that I use. Designer.microsoft.com is the domain name. I'll put it in the chat real quickly for you. And I began playing with it just for the heck of it. And that's kind of some of the results I got. And I've used 3 of those images already for in my newsletter in the last month. Just one more way AI can help you. Darren?
Nice. All right. Thank you, Mark. Well, hoping this has been helpful. Here's the key, though. It gets you to version 8.0 quickly. Now, here's what you need to do. You got to get feedback. You got to get coaching. You got to test it on audiences in order to make those tweaks to truly make it unforgettable. So, bonus secret, no number, is the power of qualified feedback. Some of you might have heard this before. If you've heard this before, thanks, follow along. I hope we've earned the right to tell you about this, but what do you think is the most important part of a presentation? And for those of you who know my answer, please don't put it in, but what is the most important part of a presentation? If you know my answer, please don't put it in. What is the most important?
Thank you, Randy. Being an image creator, I've seen that before. Yes, there are different tools you can use. The idea is the concept of AI. How can it help me in my presentation, my work, my newsletter, my marketing? So please examine what options you have and use what helps you as well. Getting paid.
Getting paid.
Randy, the paycheck. Yeah.
Well, you're not incorrect. However, it's going to be short-lived if you only get paid once. And I heard a quote, a statistic from NSA years ago that I really believe is pretty accurate, that 80% of your paid speeches come as a result of someone who's seen you speak. 80% of paid speeches come as a result of someone who's seen you speak. So whether they're seeing you for free or for a fee is irrelevant. But when we see you do what you do and you're good and people want more, that's when you're going to get paid. Referrals is what multiplies how good you are on stage. So my direct answer is the most important part of the presentation is the thought process in the listener's mind. So if you look at like the pictures Mark shows, and they're good and they make people think and they make your metaphor stick, perfect, it's on the right track. If they're not sticky, if they're not reinforcing your message, then okay, we got to try a new one. If your title isn't resonating, if your points aren't resonating, if your analogy is not resonating, you still got to run it by this, the thought process in the listener's mind. I love saying that you must convince the jury in the mind of your audience. You must convince the jury in the mind of your audience. So like getting feedback and taking whatever you come up with ChatGPT and then twisting it and adjusting it to getting where you need to go. My all-in math to mastery is effort times a proven process, but now you need experience coaching to get to mastery. So even if you're using ChatGPT as the proven process, as the writer, copywriter, the thinker, the creator, we still got to get that coaching to get to that next level. So to get super clear, there's two kinds of feedback. Number one, here's what I thought and felt. Everyone is qualified to tell you about that. Everyone. Number two, here's how to make it better. This is where we have to be careful. Only a qualified coach can tell you how to make it better. Because you have well-meaning people who are going to give you bad advice just like I got. Have you ever had somebody who, let's say, I know there's maybe some Toastmasters here. You're at a Toastmaster club and they condition you to give feedback. And one person says, go left. One person says, go right. One person says, no, go down the middle. Who do you listen to? I hear what you're saying. So in my championship speech, I literally intentionally fell on my face in part of the speech, and I stayed there. When I practice it, I went to 22 Toastmaster clubs, and at 22 Toastmaster clubs, the feedback I got was, you were down too long, I was uncomfortable, you should get up sooner. You were down too long, I was uncomfortable, you should get up sooner. You were down too long, Darren, I was uncomfortable, you should get up sooner. So I ask you, which would you say this is? And then I brought it to Mark. We'll tell you what he said in a minute. So is that number 1 or number 2? Type it in the chat, please. Is that number 1 or number 2? You were down too long. I was uncomfortable. You should get up sooner. You were down too long. I was uncomfortable. You should get up sooner. Is that number 1 or number 2? What do you got, Mark?
We've got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2.
This is why you're here. You have to discern each statement separately. So when I brought it to Mark, what did you tell me?
I said, stay down longer.
What? But Mark, everyone is telling me I should get up sooner. You were down too long. I was uncomfortable.
Yes, they were uncomfortable. Our job as presenters is not to make the audience comfortable. More so, it's to make them uncomfortable so they will take your advice and they will change and hopefully improve their lives. Stay down longer. See what happens.
What? So here's the truth of it. You were down too long, thought and felt. I was uncomfortable, thought and felt. You should get up sooner, coaching. I had well-meaning people telling me what I should do to change. However, my coach said, do the opposite. Who do you listen to? And do you have a coach? Do you have qualified people that you can listen to? Otherwise, you can spend a lot of time and you're not affecting the thought process in the audience's mind. So here's what I did with Mark's coaching and the thought and felt. I intentionally used the thought and felt. Check it out.
Contestant number 5, Darren LaCroix. Ouch. Ouch. Darren LaCroix.
Can you remember a moment when a brilliant idea flashed into your head? It was perfect for you. And then all of a sudden, from the depths of your brain, another thought started forcing its way forward through the enthusiasm until finally it shouted, yeah, great idea, but what if you fall on your face? What do you do when you fall on your face? Do you try and jump right up and hope no one noticed? Are you more concerned with what other people will think than what you can learn from this? Mr. Contest Chair, friends, and the people way in the back. Ouch! Did you feel I stayed down too long? Have you ever stayed down too long?
Wow.
Yeah. So the correct answer is 1 and 2, but I needed the feedback that people were uncomfortable in order to tap into their thoughts. And I think pretty much every world champion I've talked to said that was the moment when I connected deeply and probably won. But it's the connecting deeply part that I needed the thought and felt. I needed to listen to my coach, not the unqualified coaches. Mark?
Yeah, and the thing is, this is not a brag by any means, but because of my experience at the time and even now, I was able to see the value of Darren staying down longer. And if you listen to the clip, you notice, did I stay down too long? Everyone laughed. Have you ever stayed down too long? Only one person responded. Everybody else was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. And right away, he had a connection with the audience. And at that point, they were with him for the next 7 minutes.
Yep. Thank you, Miriam. I had a great coach. Look, you can try and figure things out on your own. We've shown you the Chat GPT tool, how to use it. I know some of you are already using it. I hope we gave you a new insight with one of our ways. But when you add direction, here's what you can do. When Mark started saying, look, Darren, you tell your stories in past tense. You need to bring them to the present. Like, that's direction. Oh, I didn't know that was powerful. That was important. But when Mark said, you in this story with your style, everyone's got a different style. Mark and I have substantially different styles. Yet we agree on 90% of what we see in each other and what we see in our students. Had I listened to unqualified coaches and I got up sooner, I would not have had that deep moment with my audience. I wouldn't have tapped into their thoughts. So I'm going to show you a quick video here. Tell me what you noticed, the difference between before and after. So I'm going to show you line by line, a clip from the third version of the speech and a clip from the winning version of the speech. And type in, as soon as you see something, what do you notice is the difference?
You remember a moment when an idea jumped into your head. Can you remember a moment when a brilliant idea flashed into your head? It was perfect. You could feel the enthusiasm reach your eyes. It was perfect for you. And then all of a sudden, in the back of your brain, this tiny little thought started forcing its way to the front to be heard. And then all of a sudden, that little thought said, but what if you... And then all of a sudden, from the depths of your brain, another thought started forcing its way forward through the enthusiasm until finally it shouted, yeah, great idea, but what if you... Fall on your face. What do you do when you fall on your face? Do you try and jump up quick so no one else notices? Do you think maybe it's not worth the risk? Are you more concerned with what other people will think than what you can learn from this? Fall on your face. What do you do when you fall on your face? Do you try and jump right up and hope no one noticed? Are you more concerned with what other people will think than what you can learn from this? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, what do you do when you fall on your face? What do you expect? Mr. Contest Chair, friends, and the people way in the back. Ouch! Did you feel I stayed down too long? Have you ever stayed down too long?
All right, Mark, what do we got?
Yes, well, we got comments like, well, I put some comments and I'll leave mine alone. Let's see. The wave from the floor is my favorite part of the contest speech. Contest chair. Excellent. Okay, here. Idea became brilliant idea. The words were more impactful. And by the way, please put your comments to everyone if you can on this one. Energy was higher. Yes. It says here, before spoke too fast. Audience needs time to reflect. After, the audience was absorbed. Pauses in the second version, longer pauses, okay? So yes, much more energy second time around. After coaching, use statements and your positioning on stage seems more deliberate, purposeful, also told people what they thought in their minds. Did you feel I stayed down too long? So there were more use in the second version as well. So good comments all around, Darren.
Yeah, Mark, what is your take when you watch that?
In terms of what was different? Well, certainly I know your language, an idea, a brilliant idea, used flashed into your head from the depths of your brain, and the movement backwards in the corner to show where the depths was as you come forward, more deliberate. Everything was more deliberate. There was more energy, more enthusiasm. There was more conviction. And it was definitely more you focused on the audience. And that was meaningful because when you asked a question and you paused to give the audience time, that told me you wanted them to absorb the message and to respond to it. So I saw marked differences, but that's just my biased opinion. So
Nice. Yeah, more use. Glad you guys saw that. More use. I love this by Geeta. She says a coach has the power to unlock what's always been inside you. It pains me that a lot of people don't get a coach or get qualified feedback because they have, if you're alive, you have stories. They're good. Mark, I saw somebody, I won't mention where, but I saw somebody who's a new speaker, like 5 emerging speakers, and all of them were good, but there was so much more they could do. Anyway, just quick, consistent results. Mark and I have been working with speech contestants, and we're just using this as a metaphor. But in 2020, we had 2 of our stage time members be finalists in the speech contest out of 35,000 contestants. 2021, we had 2 finalists. They changed the numbers a little bit, but we still had 2 finalists. 2022, we had 5 semifinalists and 3 finalists. And I just think it's like, look, make no mistake, the contestants did the work. However, I think the perspective, just like we're saying, the proven process, but the coaching, but they put in the effort. So you must get qualified feedback. ChatGPT is going to move you far down the line quickly. You've got a copywriter, you've got a joke writer. They're assistants to you, they're interns, but you still need to get someone qualified to help coach you. By the way, if you want a speaking trophy, buy one. It's much faster. You can put whatever on it you want. But let's ask you a couple of questions. If you got the call for a big break speech tomorrow, do you feel like you'd be ready, or do you wish you had more techniques? Do you feel like you wish you had more world-class techniques?
You can answer it if you want to. Y or N.
Yeah. If you got direction from great teachers, told great stories that elicited emotion, got quality feedback, could you own the stage? Look, you might feel overwhelmed, like we've covered so much. We really tried to make it about you by using your examples and typing in and showing you live searches. And we hope we've given you some new ideas. And we hope you feel like a drink with a fire hose. And we hope you go check out ChatGPT or your favorite AI and use it to work for you, to engage with your audience, to get more speeches. This is my buddy Manley. It was after one of our events. He had a big ponytail. He threw it up over me. We were goofing around, but you can tell that's not my hair. You got to take what you get from ChatGPT and own it and personalize it. Your story, your ideas, your words, make it yours. Because even if you neaten it up, you can still tell it's not mine. So we want to use ChatGPT to help enhance what you have. Come up with new ideas, new stories. I love this. One of my customers sent this to me from Auckland, New Zealand. When you can keep a cat mesmerized in a video, that's like the ultimate. So you got to own the stage. You want to walk on with confidence. So you know these ideas, these metaphors, these sticky phrases that you come up with, you know that you've got them and you can't wait to share them. When you find that foundational phrase that you just love and then audiences give it back to you, that's when you know it's landing. But if you want to walk off stage, you want to know that you nailed it. Under the pressure, whether it's a highly paid speech contest, a tough client, whatever that is. So I hope this has been helpful and hope we've earned the right to tell you how you can work with us. If you'd like to get our coaching, to tap in for a crazy, ridiculous low fee, we've got exactly what I've been designing for years. Mark and I have built together Stage Time University. So we've covered as much as we could in the time we had. If you're interested in learning more, stick around. If you're good, no worries. Do what you got to do. But have we earned the right to share that? You know, you didn't pay for this, whether you're watching it online or you're watching it live with us. May we share that? Mark, any comments coming in?
Why is it coming in applause? And oh, you got little hearts too. So I say we go for it.
All right. Thank you, Walt. Worth every bit. Stage Time University. So, whoops, I thought I deleted those. Little duplicate here. Sorry about that. If you want an unforgettable speech, we hope you got an aha or two here. All right, Mark, I didn't go through these quick enough. But I was redoing. I should have Chat GPT.
And I said to you, here you go. I said to you, check your slide sequence, right? I did say that to you.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If this has been helpful to you, what if you spent an hour a week with Mark and me? Just 1 hour a week. When I got to meet Brian Tracy, it was really cool. And I didn't spend a lot of time with him personally, but I spent so much time with him in my car. So when I surrounded myself with him and took a few people out of my life that were speaking negative thoughts that you can't do that, you'll never be a speaker. But what if we were in your top 5? Jennifer, one of our coaches from Australia, she's awesome and amazing. Look, if you want a stronger speech, we put together both the processes and the coaching and made it affordable. The best content, coaches, and community. Call it Stage Time University. I believe most presenters don't get the level of feedback they need to become unforgettable. Anywhere you get feedback, it's good, it's helpful, but you got to discern which kind is it. However, you got to get a higher level of feedback. If you don't crave it, you're just not going to reach your full potential. Whether it's Mark and me or somebody else, please get that coaching. I put together a team of world-class coaches that will show you the tiny adjustments. I know Lisa Marie, Mark, I got to meet Lisa Marie in Italy. She was one of the contestants there, and she just sent me her speech. And I sat down and I gave her some specific feedback in order to make it better. And it's a great story that she has about her dad. And I found it powerful. And I just showed her a few other small adjustments. The story is great, but a few small adjustments would help it connect more emotionally. Most presenters don't get the level of feedback they need to be unforgettable. Our team of coaches will show you the adjustments you need. When you're the presenter everyone is raving about, you'll impact more lives and help more people. Bottom line. So how have we helped other speakers? We had our friend Sarah, one of our members for several years, come to us, and she was an emerging speaker. Now she has her own podcast helping other moms raising fearless kids. We're so proud of her. Vivian Cobb came to us and she was in search of the trophy. Well, we showed her how to take an idea that she had and create an unforgettable TEDx talk. It was awesome. She even had people who were in tears listening to her message.
She was by far the best speaker. Her presentation was flawless. Her movement, I had goosebumps.
She was coached by her coaches. Nitai, who had been just a Toastmaster for 1.5 years, came to us and we took an idea that he had and helped him go all the way to number 2 in the world. Join us. All right. So it's for emerging presenters, experienced speakers, and entrepreneurs who want to build their business. And Mark, any quick thoughts?
I appreciate so many comments in the chat so far about how much they love STU, those who've been involved with us and who are going to be joining you tomorrow for trainer this week rather. But listen, we want to help you get to the next level. We don't point out the world champion speakers just to be a brag. We're telling you we can give you the results you need if you let us help you. That's all it is.
So I say you need direction and you need qualified coaching. So we put together these step-by-step processes, how to create a speech, how to create a story that's unforgettable, how to get more laughs, and how to own the stage. And then we also have correction, the qualified coaching. This is my team of coaches that are going to help you. Every week we have weekly calls. The processes, secrets of storytelling. Check it out.
Let me ask you something. If you walked out of here tomorrow with the best story you ever gave in your life, would it be worth it?
I said I could have left at noon on day 1, and it would have been worthwhile.
We're here to learn. We're not here to look good.
See, think about this. Your children, or kids that you know if you don't have any of them ever come up to you right before bedtime and said, Mommy, Daddy, Show me a PowerPoint presentation. No, it's tell me a story.
Like, I was practicing this by myself, and I hit the wall, like, how can I make it better? And I had no clue how to make it better. And I came here, and they just transformed it. It's just so crazy. Like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Craig says something that's amazing. He said, if you want to be a $5,000 speaker, you have to tell $5,000 stories.
Yeah, Mark, I love when she goes, oh, that's the power of coaching. That's the power. She had the story. The story was in her. What she needed was the person to say, ooh, do it, say this, and then react. Going through other contests the past few months, just the reaction's missing. So telling a story, what is your model? What's the structure of your story? If you don't have the right structure, you might miss one element that makes the story stick. We got own the stage. This is where we literally take our must-haves and must-avoid. What does a coach look for? Must-haves and must-avoids. I'm just going to go through this quickly. Make them laugh. We literally break down how humor is written. You go through this at your own pace. Create a powerful presentation step by step.
I'm Elizabeth Judith, and I am a life coach. And I joined Stage Time University because I was preparing for a big 20-minute presentation. And I'd already been working on it for weeks, and I just couldn't get it to come together. It was quite a mess, so many different ideas. I didn't know how to put them all together in a cohesive, powerful, impactful way. And the sad thing is even after I joined, I didn't use it right away. I was so caught up in just gotta get it done, until I literally was down to, I had 2 days left. And I'm in desperation. Okay, I need to focus on this program. I need some help. And the program I used was create your keynote in 1 week. And at that point, I didn't even have a week. I only had 2 days, but I was determined and I followed the steps. And before I knew it, the speech completely came together and I felt so much more confident. I nailed it. And I was so grateful. I highly recommend Stage Time University and all of their programs. Give the gift to yourself, truly.
And Mark, we got to change the title. Create your keynote in 2 days.
There you go, 2 days.
So this is the form that we teach you. We teach you a process step by step. Mark, do you have yours handy?
It's funny you should ask that, Darren. We use that material ourselves. And here's an idea of how that model has worked for me. And these are keynotes I have written and revised since 2020, when I ended up working from home. These are all for real, all over the place. Yeah, but I use it myself. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mark. These are the tools that we use. This is the process that we follow. We're literally open the kimono, say, hey, here's what we do. It's not a mystery, but it's a mystery if you try and figure it out on your own. Don't do what I did. So I love what she said. I went through Create Your Keynote and I nailed it. Love that. We got interactive tools we just showed you. You know they're good when you use your own. One for storytelling, one for keynote speaking. But here's the key, I think. This is the critical part, which is literally getting feedback each week. One, we have member-to-member feedback. So you're getting feedback from people who are at your level or above, not a beginning emerging speaker. So you're getting a higher level of feedback and they've been through our program, so they know what we look for. This is where we have it. So it's not out in the public, it's inside of Stage Time. And literally, here's where you can get feedback from members, because great speeches aren't written, they're rewritten. But we need that feedback. Then finally, the weekly coaching calls. Mark?
Yeah, each week on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, we have about 2 hours of coaching where we get two coaches get together, and we have one theme for each week. Week 1 is Corwan content. Jennifer Leon from Australia and I will do that. Week 2 is story, Mike and Mike. Week 3 is humor with Darren and Stephanie. And then week 4 is virtual coaching with Mike and myself. We have individuals come up, they'll give their presentation. And there's also one more piece. We mentioned stories, a story dig. We'll get the story, we'll pull the story out of you, find what's there, draw that out, and make your story even better. And that happens every single week right here at Stage Time.
Yeah, Mark, I got to add that to the slides, the story dig. That's where you have an idea, like Mark said, and you just bring the idea to the coaches, and they're going to literally, like Gita said, it's already inside you, but they'll literally tactically, from experience, pull it out of you. So that's huge. So look, these are literally the prices we used to sell these for on DVDs back in the day, $2,800. Of course, we're not going to charge that, but if you could create one $10,000 story, what would that be worth to you? If you could create one unforgettable presentation that you could get paid for again and again, what would that be worth to you? If you could get feedback from a world champion, what would that be worth to you? So we're offering a year with us for $497, or you can do $57 a month. It's one or the other. Some people, they can't put the $497 out front, so you can do it month by month. You can cancel at any time. Now, obviously, if you do the $497, you're getting a couple months free if you do the math. But you literally get access to everything here. It's the same as Secrets of Storytelling by itself, only you get everything. You can scan this. I'll pop it in the chat. If you're watching the replays, just go down in the description area below this video, but I'll pop it in the chat right now. And we'd love to have you join us. We're going to call this Wednesday. And Mark, I'm glad you're doing it because I'm teaching Train the Trainer all day. But just click on that link, join us, dive in, and start getting that feedback and that direction that you need. This is world-class training for less than $2 a day. Think about it. Month is 30 days, $57 for a month. I wanted to make this affordable by anyone. That's like 2 drinks at Starbucks, $57.
$2? I don't think so.
Well, if you get a mocha latte date, could be close. But again, the link is in the chat. Copy, paste it, check it out. Just click on it so you have it. If you're watching the replay, just go below this in the description area, the orange button in the email, either way. Look, some people say, but I have so much content. Do I have time? Well, what if you could just give us 1 hour a week? You give us 1 hour a week and we'll change the way you present for the rest of your career. Some people come for 6 months. Some people have been with us for years. Why? Because we're helping them grow. You heard from Miriam. You heard from, I don't remember who else said it. I know some of our members are here because we never taught this before. This is brand new, but our members are here. They're people that invest in us to get us moving forward. Well, I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. When's the best time? When's the best time? I think the sooner you dive into world-class training, the better. Otherwise, you're just going to lengthen your learning curve. So the sooner the better, in my opinion. Some people say, well, most online learning is confusing. Got it. I don't know how to use this. So I literally made a roadmap to give you a PDF that you can download and literally check the boxes as you go through to see which courses we have. You get access to all of these. And then when you go to the dashboard, we made it really simple. Go at your own pace, programs, direction, get feedback, qualified coaching. So the process and the coaching. 3 buttons right there. If you go inside, what does it look like inside? We've got the programs there. You just click on it. And then video pops up. You got the outline to the right and you got an MP3 you can download and keep. Even if you decide to cancel, you can download the program MP3s and keep them. I promise it will be worth it if you're serious. Some people say, get all excited about world-class techniques. And then a week later, I stop. I've been there and done that. I did that when I was studying real estate. Come home with 23 CDs, and after CD number 3, I got so many questions and I just shut down. The cool part is when we have the weekly calls, you just dive in and you'll get re-excited and reignited. So much fun. And watching people grow before your eyes, I'm warning you, you're going to get a little jealous of the people doing the work, but it's going to inspire you to do the work to grow. What would it be worth for you to tell unforgettable stories? Some of our past members, Sunny came with a story that she had done before. We worked with her. We made it totally engrossing and captivating. People from her club were telling after she came back, We show you the small adjustments you need in order to be unforgettable. Masako, top-notch training, the best investment I've ever made. So again, in the chat, please check it out. Join us, and I'll send you a private video, personal video welcoming you, and we'll show you if you have any questions, the common questions we get, but we'll help you get the most out of this program. Do you want to be something bigger than you? What's cool is the people in Stage Time are the serious people. They're out there speaking in the real world. You heard about Vivian speaking at a TEDx conference, making someone cry, good cry. Well, when you give feedback to people out in the real world speaking, now you are literally helping them help the world. Love that. So together, changing the world, one presentation at a time. Look, you can get a coach. And you can work with Mark or me, $2,500 to $5,000, $500 an hour. So for $497, you can get a whole year with Mark and me, which is less than 1 hour with Mark or me. But if you want a coach and you can handle the investment, go to getaspeakingcoach.com. You can do nothing and keep growing incrementally, which I did for 7 years before I finally met my 2 coaches. But I live in another country. Okay, check it out. This is what Denise said. She lives in Germany.
I've been in other programs, not for speaking, but other business development programs, things like this. And I have been absolutely blown away by the content that's available to us in Stage Time. Okay, I probably shouldn't say this because I don't want them raising the price. But I really thought, seriously, I get all this for that price a month? And it's because I've been in other. Don't you dare raise the price. At least not for me. The rest of you guys join.
Guaranteed.
Exactly. And no, they did not ask us to say this, but I know that I've been in different programs, and I know the money that I've invested in myself as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a coach, and you will not. I'm just going to say this: you will not find a better value for the money that you're paying, and also the support from the other members. You have access to people who are like literally, like rocket scientist people like Marino.
All right. You got the point. Look, we'd love to have you join us. We love what we get to do. And if you're serious, please join us. It's $497 for a year, $57 a month if that's easier for you or your budget. And we'll get you coaching. We'll get you into the step-by-step programs, and you're going to look at presentations differently. So again, the link's in the chat. If you're watching the replay, it's down below. Join us. We will rock your world. Mark Brown, final thoughts?
AI is here to stay, and you can use your AI tools well, but nothing is going to compare to being in a community of people who will use the tools as well, but also help you to go from good to great to unforgettable. We'd love to have you on our team.
Join us.
Yeah.